let's go through our most anticipated games real quick. I have a couple, and we can kind of go back and forth. But I'll just throw out one of my most anticipated, not my number one, but Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for a remake with a fresh coat of paint and in the style of the the new power that the Switch can offer since the GameCube. And it looks really good based on the trailer that we've seen. I'm a fan of the original. I've never beat the original. I watched Tanner play it a lot growing up, and I know Tanner's a huge fan of it. But I'm excited to actually sit down and play it through from beginning to end, remastered, pretty much remade from what it looks like.
Thousand Year Door is probably one of my favorite games ever, of all time. I've beaten it straight up. Well, actually, technically, I don't think I've ever beat it. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's an RPG, true to form. And the last boss, at least in my experience, is impossible. It's literally impossible. I won't spoil what it is because you're probably gonna play it. But I love Thousand Year Door. It's straight up the only Paper Mario game I feel like I've truly enjoyed. I've played the other ones. I played Super Paper Mario on the Wii, which is really good also. Paper Mario Sticker Star, which was on the 3DS, which was good. But none of them were able to capture the magic of Thousand Year Door. There was something so special about it. It had such a uniqueness to it. Its music is top notch. You've probably heard some of its music and not even realized it. It's some of that music that YouTubers play in the back of their videos and you don't even notice. You know how Banjo-Kazooie's music is that, where people always use Banjo-Kazooie in the background?
It's iconic.
The song such a good game.
The song I love the most is just the opening with
Rogue Port. It's so good.
It's so good.
But it's the best Paper Mario, so I'm glad that that's the one they're making. You know, I'm excited to see if it has any new stuff in it. I don't think it will, because I think it's just gonna be a true to form remaster. But maybe they add new stuff. But we'll see.
Might add another mode, maybe a boss rush mode or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Who else wants to go? Who wants to throw out their?
I have 8 games actually. But I'll say, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine. I think that's honestly going to be the first Warhammer game that I'm actually going to jump in and try, really try. So
the one we've been seeing a bunch.
Yeah, we've seen that one for a couple years now, right?
Yeah, that one's supposed to come out. Oh, I freaking got rid of my list. But that's supposed to come out. I think it's in May or something like that, August or something. I can't remember, but sometime around there. But yeah, I'm gonna give that one a try. That one seems fun.
It's coming to Game Pass too, right?
I don't know if it's coming to Game Pass either. I'm not positive.
What is even coming out this year?
I don't really have any. Go for Call of Duty. That's my most anticipated, I think.
Me too.
Just because
actually,
of the
that
zombies.
Might be my most.
I forgot.
Just because of the zombies.
Add that to my list. Yeah, I'm definitely pumped for that.
So
well, and because of the rumors,
I wouldn't be excited, but
well, apparently there's supposed to be Zombie Chronicles 2, which is going to have a lot of the Black Ops 2 maps Die Rise and stuff remastered, which be sick. It'll actually be fun.
And for those that don't know what we're talking about, the rumor is that the next Call of Duty is going to be called Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War.
I mean, we know that it's Black Ops. They've already confirmed that it's Black Ops. They're not dropping the whatever that's called, the subtitle.
I think it'll be Gulf War.
It's pretty much confirmed that it's Gulf War because they've said it's a direct sequel to Cold War. But
yeah, just for people that
here's the thing.
Aware.
The Microsoft Activision deal really screwed Activision's plans and Microsoft's as far as secret stuff goes, because a lot of the stuff got leaked and with all those reports and stuff. So anyway,
yeah,
if it's not called Gulf War, I'd be blown away.
I would be too. All the signs point toward it being called Gulf War.
I just hope they don't use the same engine that they've been using.
Me too.
I want it new.
They're going
because I swear the last 4 Call of Duties have felt exactly the same.
Yeah.
So
I actually saw a video. I think it was Vondahar. They were talking about the engine and how they tend to use it for 3 games.
They gotta. I want the arcadey feel back. Bring back the arcadey feel. It was so much
Black Ops
more
always does that
quick
though.
and
Black
I
Ops
want-
is
enjoyable.
the arcadey Call of Duty.
I don't want military sim. That's not
Yeah,
what I'm looking
exactly.
for.
See,
I don't
that's
want
why
to be
look.
mantling up walls and stuff like that.
If I'm
Come
honest though,
on.
that's why people love the Black Ops series. Is because they're way more the arcadey shooter. They're unrealistic. They're fun. They're crazy.
yeah, they're
they're
just
weird.
fun. That's what matters
Yeah.
most. Like, I don't need.
Look, if I want Milsim, I'm gonna go play Battlefield or Tarkov or something.
Yeah, yeah,
You know?
exactly.
I'm sorry,
I
but
don't
you
need the
can't
full,
be
reloading animation.
like Call of Duty's try so hard to be a military shooter, but it's like that you can't have that unless you want to be super hyper realistic. So
Yeah.
it feels like this weird in between where you're like, okay, I'm sprinting like a real person, but then I'm taking a buckshot to my face and not dying. You know,
Yeah.
which doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. And then I'm shooting zombies in DMZ. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Hasten, you want to throw out another one of your most anticipated? Since you have a little more.
I've got Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 comes out the same week as Stalker 2. Which Stalker 2 actually
yeah, I forgot
got
about
announced
that.
forever ago.
some of the
It's been
trailers I've
delayed.
seen from Stalker 2 seems awesome. Like just the world in general just seems really cool for Stalker 2, so I'm excited to give that one a try. and
It
play
kind
that
of
one.
looks like Metro. Remember a
Metro.
Metro? Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
the
Looks
same
just
thing.
like it.
If I'm not mistaken, the developers of Stalker are from Ukraine, and I think
Yeah.
that's why it got delayed. Because it was
Yeah, they
supposed to come
delayed
out.
it.
I think it was supposed to come out like last year, or something like that. But,
Yeah.
you can throw out another.
Basically, just writing about their real life and making it a game.
August 20th is Black Myth Wukong, which you guys have probably heard
I've heard of
about.
this
It's
before.
like the
this one
Souls
looks
game,
cool.
right?
I actually don't even know if it's like a Souls game, but it's if this is the right game that I remember, it's literally made by like one dude who has been working on it for like 10 years or something like that.
That's crazy.
I think. I can't remember if it's that. I'm pretty sure it's Black Myth Wukong. But now it's been getting so much like feedback and money that I think there's a bigger team working on it now. But I'm excited for that one. That one's gonna seem like it's gonna be really cool.
That one's kind of like Souls-like, right? If I'm.
I think
Sorry, I
so.
just
Yeah,
said-
it's like a
What,
monkey
Tanner?
dude with a sword.
Okay.
Wukong.
What did you
Monkey
say?
Black
King.
Myth.
He said that's what he
Wukong.
said about it being a Souls game.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I didn't hear. Yeah, it looks kind of Souls-like from what I remember, and kind of Assassin's Creedy if I remember too.
To be
But-
fair,
yeah.
there's a lot of those games that are Eastern themed that looks Souls. So I don't know if that is one of them or
Yeah,
not.
there's a bunch. That's definitely a popular genre right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and throw out my my third most anticipated game, and that's Shadows of the Erdtree. I know it's not a full game. I know it's DLC, but we already talked about it. Won't go on it too much more, but I loved Elden Ring. Super excited for more. Let's go FromSoft.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. I've got that on my list too. Yeah, I don't even know what it. Honestly, I don't even know what it's going to be about. But I just want to
Yeah.
play it.
Give me whatever. I don't care. I'll eat any more Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Ew.
I'll eat the Elden Ring.
It sounds like a innuendo
It
for like
is, yeah.
eating the old person's ball
I'll-
or something.
I'll eat the Elden Ring of my tarnish.
I'll feed me more
any
Elden Ring.
day.
With the finger, I'll put a finger in the
The
Elden
fing-
Ring.
Like a rim job.
What is with fingers in Elden Ring? That's such a weird thing.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Many
Hey,
fingers.
That's why.
Yeah. Hit us with another one, Hazen.
Star Wars Outlaws, which is supposed to be a new Star
Oh.
Wars EA game.
I totally forgot about that
Which
That looks awesome.
yeah, I don't even like. I think
Open
that's the one
world.
with the female like lead, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and
um,
the guy that was like a bad ace droid.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
a sucker for Star Wars, so I don't know. Whatever you give me, I'm gonna play. So
I totally forgot that was going to be coming out this year. That's
I did
right.
too.
Yeah. That is
Yep.
that does look cool.
that's Ubisoft too, right? I believe
Mhm.
that's their one.
Which
So getting EA away from Star Wars for the first time. So we'll see how that goes.
yeah, I
Oh,
guess
that's not
good.
EA.
Yep.
Yeah, not EA.
Yeah.
I will
Let's
say
go.
though, I'm not like I just hope it doesn't feel like modern Assassin's Creed, just because I've
Yeah.
been getting kind of tired of the whole RPG Assassin's Creed formula. But it looks good from the trailers we've seen.
Yep.
We already taled about this one. I'll say my number 2 most anticipated is NCAA 2020 or 25.
That's my number 1. Yay!
Hey, I'm pumped
Comes
for
out this year?
Yeah, it's
Summer this year.
supposed to be summer this year.
Cool.
You know, we've already talked about it when Tanner was gone for a while, but I'm super excited. I hope it's good. Please don't suck. Please don't ruin it, EA.
Well,
Thank you.
Make me
let's
sad.
be real. It's
Yeah.
probably gonna be Madden 25, but with NCAA
Probably
plastered on
college
it.
Players, yeah.
Legit, I'm worried about that, but
You're gonna
It's a
like be
legit
playing as one of
possibility.
the players, and it's gonna look just like Tom Brady. You'll be like,
But
huh?
it's
say
gonna
Shedeur
have a
Sanders.
cutscene where a player's walking across the screen, and it'll just say like Burrow on the back of his jersey, or like
Yeah.
Mahomes. And it's like,
Oh
oh, they
my
didn't
gosh,
even
could you
remove
imagine-
it.
I could
And
see
then
the
they'll do that
controversy
thing
now.
where
That could
in the
happen.
crowd they'll be holding
legitimately.
Madden 25 signs.
It's
like,
like what was the controversy a couple years ago where it was like
Well,
the-
they released like
up in
Madden
the
20,
stands.
and up in
Yeah.
the stands, all the signs said like Madden 19.
Madden
19,
Still,
yeah. Oh
it's
my
like just the
gosh.
year before.
I would not be surprised if we get a controversy that's like you're playing at the Alabama Stadium or something, but then up in the things it says like
Madden 25.
Allegiant Stadium.
yeah, or something. They just totally copy and pasted it.
When are they gonna stop making yearly sports games and just do one?
We talked about
When
this.
they
We
when they
actually
don't
had
make
this
$1
conversation.
billion a year.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, we
That's
were
when
actually
they will.
saying
In a
that
perfect
we want,
world.
we're hoping that they just release this one and then take like 2 or 3 years off and just support this one for like 2-3 years and then come out with another one. But
It's
they
funny
never
because
will.
if there's any game series that doesn't need a new one every year, it's sports games.
Yeah,
They are the perfect games to be live service
yeah,
because you're
Yeah.
literally just updating the roster. That's the
Mhm.
only thing that's different. You're not
Yeah.
like adding a spaceship and like there's not DLC. It's freaking players. Like you're adding a name. You're adding a
It's true.
jersey name to.
Dude, they should do Madden in space. That'd be awesome.
That would make it
If you like
way
run in
cooler.
low gravity.
It'd be like those
That would-
blood bowls.
I'd love that if they
I
made
think
like
we're
a Madden with cool maps or something.
Yeah,
Kind of
that'd
another
be like
prediction, I
Photoshop.
guess, but I think this is the year we're gonna get another NFL game because I think
Oh,
2K,
yeah.
I think 2K is working on another NFL sports game. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be like a Madden game, but it's gonna be like probably a more arcadey style, so like a street football kind of.
Yeah,
game.
it's been confirmed, right? Like as
Yeah.
far as it's confirmed, we just don't know when it'll.
Yeah, we don't know when it's gonna be, but 2K is working on a football game.
That would be awesome. I would love that because competition breeds excellence, and I think if there's actual competition to Madden, then maybe they will try harder.
Yeah. 2K,
we'll see.
and NBA 2K is legitimately a better game than most of the sports games out there. So like 2K legitimately does do a good job at their sports games. So
Yeah.
from a sports gamer,
You can hit us with another one if you want, Hazen.
that's all of them. I mean, I have like Hellblade on there, but I'm not really excited for it. It's just on my list.
You're just
Okay.
ready for it to stop being shown at the Xbox.
Yeah, I don't want to
showcases.
see. I want it to come
Done
out so I don't have to
seeing
see
it.
it again at any
every
point.
single, and it's the same clip of her going crazy. of,
Yeah.
like having voices in her head. I have to kill Odin. God.
I guess I also have Avowed on there, but we kind of already talked about that. I'm a little
Hesitant
worried
now.
about it, with the gameplay that I saw, but who knows? We'll see. I'll give it a
I
try.
think Avowed's one of those games that will turn out great. I already talked about it a little bit, but I think it's going to be one of those.
I think so
games that
too.
might not show the best, but then it's going to come out and everyone's like, "Oh, this is awesome."
I also think that gameplay is gonna be just too good.
Yeah.
Because like we haven't really had a good medieval RPG in a while, like first person at least.
Yeah, it's been like what, like 12
12
years?
Since Skyrim.
Since 11.
Like I don't know. Like there was the medieval dynasty. What was it called? There was one on like Game Pass. But it was like super hyper realistic, and it wasn't.
Oh, I know
It
what
was
one
pretty
you're talking
fun,
about.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But like I'm excited just because like I need another like cool medieval killing skeletons with a sword and
Sink your
fireball.
teeth into
First
that.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
See.
seems like something you guys need, especially after this drought. Tanner, did you have any more?
I have a
anticipated
bunch.
games?
I haven't.
Oh,
said any of
start,
mine.
start shooting out. Oh, sorry, I thought Hasten had a ton of.
Oh, you're
those,
good.
but go for it.
So 1,000 Year Door, what you already said, Avowed, we already talked about. Luigi's Mansion, the remaster. I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Final Shape, Destiny expansion. Always excited for those. This is one that's controversial. Suicide Squad. I'm actually excited for it.
I've wanted to talk about this a little bit.
Because it's my type of game. Like, I've been watching a lot of stuff on it. I'm like, man, I don't think Connor's gonna like this, but I know I might. It's fun.
It is funny because, I don't want to go down too big of a rabbit hole with Suicide Squad, but I will say it kind of goes into my predictions for the game. I actually think that the game and I could be dead wrong about this, we'll see, but I think give it 4 or 5 months, and I think the game is actually going to be looked at pretty differently than when it launches. I think it's going to launch and get really bad reviews based on everything I've been
because of
hearing
people's expectations and stuff.
Because of expectations, and honestly, because of my own expectations and stuff like that. I think it's going to be poorly received because it's not what people want from Rocksteady and from Arkham. But I think in 4 or 5 months, once people have had time to kind of digest it and kind of come to terms with what it is, I think it's going to kind of develop its own sub fan base, and people are going to actually start to like it because of what it is. And I agree. Did you see their DLC roadmap? It's actually awesome. Like, this is coming from someone who does not care about that kind of stuff really, and is not looking forward to the game that much. But their DLC roadmap is really cool. Like, they're adding so they've already said they're doing like 4 seasons at least, all free. No, it doesn't cost $1.
Wow.
And each new season's going to have a new character. So the first season starts in March, so like a month after launch, and you play as Joker.
That's Joker, right?
Joker's
I will say, did you see Joker?
Yeah, he
looks horrible.
He looks absolutely
I was going to
terrible.
say that. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. No, looks absolutely terrible. But besides that, though,
for free?
But it comes with like a new location that you can play at, which I think is like the Superman Daily. Like, where does he work? The Daily Planet or something like that?
Daily Planet,
yeah. The Daily Planet.
Oh, Daily Planet, yeah. Bugle's
Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he works at like, so they're adding the Daily Planet, and it's gonna be like Joker took it over, and then they're adding in season 2 or 3 or something like that Arkham Asylum, like straight up Arkham Asylum from the original game.
Because the Arkhamverse, right?
Because it's all in the Arkhamverse.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be actual Arkham Asylum, and then they're adding Gotham City from Arkham Knight, like the Gotham City
gonna be
of
sick.
Arkham Knight. So it's like the DLC they're announcing. I'm like, that is really cool. I just wish it wasn't this type of game.
I mean, look, here's what I'm going to say. And I'll say this to you specifically as somebody who's really hesitant towards it. People are review bombing it already. Like the people who have played it early access. The gameplay looks awesome. And I think that's what people they're choosing not to look at. Because they're just mad that it's not an Arkham game. But to Rocksteady's defense, they never said it was an Arkham game, you know? And I get like why it sucks to not have,
but yeah,
right. But it's not called Arkham Suicide Squad, right? Like they purposely wanted to make sure people knew it's a different game. It's a separate game, and the gameplay looks fun. Like when just watching gameplay of them running around as, what's his name?
King Shark.
King Shark. He's like jumping from building to building. I'm like, that looks cool. Like that looks really fun. And play as like all 4 of us, like jumping around the city, searching for the Flash, as he's speeding through the whole city. Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the loot stuff is stupid. Yeah, let's
do
it.
I like Avengers. We'll buy it.
Yeah.
I will say,
Parker, you in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gameplay
For
wise,
sure.
I will say that I think
Waste
this
of
game would actually
$70.
Gameplay
kidding.
wise,
It was
I
fun.
think
I
this
played
game would
it.
actually be really fun, like all 4 of us. I actually do. It seems like it could be a fun game that way. I will say that the UI though is atrocious, like absolutely atrocious.
Looter shooters struggle with that so hard. To make a good UI as a looter shooter, you have to keep it simple. Every game struggles with it so hard, or it's needlessly complicated, and
you
open it and you're
I
like,
don't need 50 things
what do I
popping up on
do?
my screen,
No.
24/7. That's not what I want when I play a game. I get that stuff can be important, but put it in menus then. Don't make it popping up on my screen the entire time.
I saw a good
I'm
suggestion,
playing.
which is make optional options where you can go in the settings and be like, okay, I don't need to see my buffs and debuffs.
And they might.
I don't need
to
to
be fair,
see
the
that
game
kind of
isn't
stuff.
out yet. For all we know, they have that as an option. So I don't want to talk crap about
true.
something that we don't know about yet. But
Yeah.
based on everything I've seen, based on trailers, based on previews and stuff, it's not looking great to me. But like I said,
And I can almost guarantee
DLC-wise,
you
it's
that
looking like it could be cool.
yeah, I can almost guarantee you that the game is going to bomb review wise just because of people's, predetermined thoughts about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think, like you said, people will like it. Like, I think there will be a very niche cult following of people that are like, this game's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be people like me who are less attached to the Arkham
Arkhams.
verse as a whole, and
Yeah.
it's not their favorite game series, And I love those games to death, but I'm less attached to it, and I'm kind of looking at it as a separate thing,
Yeah. I will say,
I am actually pretty excited for it.
As a quick side note, it's like, how do you go from, and I know for those that don't know, it's an Elseworlds Joker. It's not the same Joker from Arkham Asylum. It's supposed to be.
What does that mean? Is it another dimension?
It's another word for multiverse. It's like a
Okay.
different Joker from a different timeline.
I didn't even know they were going into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all Elseworlds based because I don't know. There's a whole bunch. I could go on a whole.
He looks
tangent with this.
horrible.
I won't go. I won't go into it. But it's like, even though it's an Elseworlds Joker, how can you go from, arguably, in my opinion,
Mark Hamill,
the best Joker, that's ever been represented, with the Arkham Joker, to this Joker,
Gen
it's like,
Z.
what? Yeah, totally.
Gen
like a
Z
Gen
Joker.
Z style Joker.
What's up, bro?
I don't.
Not really, but
Yeah.
I'm like, when I first heard his voice, where he's like talking like in a deeper voice, like he's like, oh, I don't know. I was like, bruh, they didn't even try to make him sound menacing or scary.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's so weird.
Weird. Like, I don't know.
So weird.
I will say a quick prediction based on what they've said, and I don't want this to happen necessarily, but they've confirmed 4 seasons. I think they're done after 4 seasons. I don't think
you don't think it'll get supported.
I don't think it'll get support beyond a certain point. Not because, like I said, I do think people will end up liking it, and I do think it will get like a sub fan base, kind of like a niche fan base, like you were saying. But I think that it'll be too little, too late. I think it'll be one of those things where
it's true.
People
They needed a lot more revenue.
Yeah, like people wouldn't have given it a chance, and it's gonna after the 4th season they're gonna announce.
Well, and look, live service games are so expensive to upkeep, and they need consistent players. If they're not getting that, they have to shut down.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too: is the longer that this goes, the longer you're taking up one of the better studios. In game development.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Did you hear about Septon Hill and what's his bucket? How they're starting their own game studio?
Yeah, Jamie Walker. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad. I mean, once again, this is a whole other discussion that I could get into really deep if I wanted to. But Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker leaving, I think the writings are on the wall. I think Warner Bros. Was overstepping their bounds with this game. Regardless of how it turns out, I think it's clear that there was things going on that the team didn't want to do fully, which, i.e., making it fully like live service,
looter shooter.
Sticking to it for a long time. This is what we were kind of hearing about recently with like Naughty Dog, and then them. Part of the reason why they said they canceled Factions is because they didn't want to be, taken away from making other things for the next 2-3 years while they support
Which is
Factions.
why I think it was the best decision at the time. I know people are kind of butthurt about it, like, oh, I was so looking forward to it, but it's like, I feel like most people would rather have a new Naughty Dog game, like single player, big IP, than some okay-ish live service.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I think for sure. Yeah. What else you got?
Black Ops Gulf War, Stalker 2. I was writing a lot of the ones Hasten said because I forgot.
Oh yeah.
A Witchfire that announced last year.
Yeah, Witchfire looks.
It's in early access, I think, but it looks cool. Vampire Survivors DLC. They have a big roadmap. I just love that game. Shout out to.
They doing stuff this year for it?
Yeah, they announced a huge roadmap. This is what I love about small developers who don't have a board of directors and don't have to appease their investors. Because they can literally do whatever they want. And literally, the developers literally posted a thing on Steam where they're like, this is everything we want to do. And it was like 25 different like DLC things or updates. I was like, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. They can just put out stuff whenever they want and however they want. They don't have to get approval. And so shout out to them. And then the last one, which I remembered last second, which this is a weird one. So Fallout London, which is a mod, but it's a huge mod. So this is a very unknown market that a lot of people don't know about. But there are huge mods that have been being worked on or are still for all the Bethesda games. So there's Sky Oblivion, which is Oblivion being remastered in Skyrim. It's been in development for like 8 years. It's huge. Comes out in 2025, I think. And then there's Sky Wind, which is Morrowind being remastered in Skyrim. But then one of the big ones for Fallout. I know. But the big one for Fallout was Fallout London. It's coming out in April. And it's literally an entire game, basically, taking place in London after the Fallout. And it has like all new guns. It has like actual game developers who used to work on actual games. They have like a team of over 100 people working on it. It's crazy. So it's gonna be awesome. It's been in development for a long time, and I'm excited to play it.
That's cool. Anyone else have any, or do you want? Am I good to shout out my number one?
Shout out.
All right. My number one
Shout
is
out.
recently revealed fully, and that's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I think this looks
That would also be on mine.
awesome. I was genuinely surprised how excited I was for this, just because I will say, as a quick aside, I'm slightly disappointed it's not third person, but after thinking about it and hearing the developers talk about it, I think first person's the right choice, only because we have essentially a third person Indiana Jones, which is Uncharted, and Tomb Raider.
Or Fortnite.
Tomb
We
Raider.
have Fortnite.
Yeah, and Fortnite.
A Fortnite.
But Uncharted and Tomb Raider are already fantastic Indiana Jones games, and they're third person. So a good way to separate an actual Indiana Jones game is to make it first person, do something a little different. And I think it looks cool. I think it looks really good. They got me with the trailer editing. I think them playing the theme song and then punching. Yeah, with the whoever did that's genius. Whoever decided to do that in the trailers,
he needs a raise.
Genius. Yeah, give that guy a raise. But yeah, literally with the beat that dun 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 dun, dun like punching the guy, it's so sick. But music.
Well, even that whole sequence where he swings down, it shows like how you can dynamically, I assume, latch on to almost anything. Yeah. He just like latches on, swings down, knocks a guy off the ledge, and then goes dum dum dum. Yeah, like it's so cool. So and that looks like gameplay.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, which is cool. I think shout out to Troy Baker, who's playing Indiana Jones, and I think he sounds
great.
That's awesome.
He sounds just like Harrison Ford, and like from what I can tell, like a younger Harrison Ford. So great job.
I think Harrison Ford did all of the stunt work for this.
Yeah,
he had to.
Probably, yeah.
I think he crashed his plane on the way to record, though.
Yeah. They were like, all right, we can't. Let's get Troy.
This is too dangerous. Please go back home.
I don't. Harrison, you're 85. You can't do this.
I do not care.
No one else will be Indiana Jones but me.
No, you wanted to get Chris Pratt. I'll kill him.
I am him.
I'll crash my plane into his house. Oops.
No, but
like jumps
also,
out last minute and parachuting.
I mean, shout out straight up for getting the rights to the look of Harrison Ford. I know that sounds silly,
really?
But it's like that's a big
likeness.
deal, because there was a question. I remember when this game was first announced, there was a big question going around amongst people if they would actually get Harrison Ford's his likeness for this, which is like obviously on paper it's like, well, duh, of course they're going to. But who knows? With the way Harrison Ford is, I wouldn't have been surprised if he was just like, no.
He doesn't
video
care.
game?
Like,
Disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
no.
they're like, can we put your face in a video game? He's like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I do not care.
He's like, we're gonna put you in a new video. I don't care.
I don't care. If I'm not playing Indiana Jones, no, it cannot happen. But so that's a big deal. Like, I think that's actually something that's kind of underappreciated, is that they got his likeness. And I do agree slightly with Hasten with what he was saying earlier, which is I don't think the graphics are necessarily like amazing.
That's a good point.
They seem a little, I guess,
dated,
rough. Yeah, but it's also early. I don't know if like it's one of those things where it could still be updated and look better by the time it comes out. But I do agree with Hasten. I don't think it looks that amazing graphics.
I mean, we kind of have reached a point though with graphics where they don't improve much anymore. I feel like the last 5-6 years they've been pretty stagnant with graphical improving. You know,
Yeah.
it's like when people are like, "Oh, well, technically, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom look different." It's like, yeah, but it's so slight,
Yeah.
such a slight change. But it's like, yeah, I get
say,
Indiana Jones
like
doesn't look the best.
Last
but
of Us Part 2 still is probably the best looking game I've ever seen.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
And
but see, that
I don't
makes
know. I
sense
don't understand
because
why like these games don't
And they
have that by
remastered it.
this point.
I think that's what they prioritize though, because a game like Last of Us prioritizes story, like visual fidelity, beauty, art. It's kind of like an art form to watch it and play it. You know, and that's
Well, it's
why
also-
people tend to look at those games more of like a movie and an art.
Yeah. I mean, it also helps that those games are like Last of Us have a 7-year development cycle, you know, or longer.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like who knows how long Indiana Jones has been in development, but I doubt it's been 7 years. I bet it's
Well, and look,
probably
I'm gonna
4,
swing
5,
and
something
say
like
that I don't know how well it's gonna be received. I can kind of just tell by looking at it that I
Mhm.
don't know if it'll have the best story.
No.
It's
yeah.
also an adaptation of a character who already exists,
I will
unlike
say
something
this,
like
though.
Uncharted.
I will
know?
say this though, to that point is I think the story's in pretty good hands based on a couple things. Like the fact that they have Marcus Brody in there, who is a, you know, that's like an Indiana Jones fan character. Like most surface level people probably don't even know.
Wouldn't
who that
even
is.
think of putting them in there.
Yeah, but it's like Marcus Brody. They showed him in the trailer. I'm like, that's freaking awesome. You know, like he's the head of the museum or at the school.
Uh-huh.
Indiana Jones teaches at, and so it's cool to have little stuff like that. And then I think based on like locations they've shown, I think it's gonna be pretty good story wise. I'm not saying it's gonna be Last of Us. It's definitely not gonna be
Yeah.
anything like that. But I think it'll be a pretty what's the word? Like I guess just good. Like a pretty serviceable, that's the word I'm looking for. Serviceable like Indiana Jones story. I think it'll deliver a serviceable Indiana Jones. But
Yeah. I mean, I do think it being Bethesda, they're gonna prioritize gameplay over everything. Bethesda tends to do that. Story kind of comes second. I do think, like you said, I think it will be a good story. Yeah, it won't be great. It won't be praised for it, but
What did this company make prior to this?
Wolfenstein. So it's Machine Games who did all the Wolfensteins. But yeah, no, they're
Yeah.
a good developer. They you know, the Wolfenstein games were all pretty well received besides that
well, I
one,
don't even think
the-
they made Youngblood though. Youngblood was
Youngblood, yeah,
probably
Youngblood.
made by a spin-off
like a smaller
team,
team
I'm
or
sure.
something. Yeah. But 1 and
Spin-offs
2,
like that
people
are
loved
never
them.
made by the main team.
Yeah. Yeah, but 1 and 2, New Colossus and stuff like that, those were really well received. So I think it's in good hands. And I think it helps, you know, that they have experience with first person stuff. So it's probably good that the game's in first person as well.
Surprised that Todd Howard was part of it
Yeah, and Todd Howard's
too.
involved. Which
He
he's like a
loves
main-
Indiana
Main
Jones.
part of it.
Mhm. Yeah, I
He
think
loves Indiana Jones. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
Like, he loves it.
I'm pretty sure he helped with the story for this. I could be wrong.
There was
Yes,
an
he's the-
interview
He's the executive producer.
Yeah, yeah.
because there was like an interview, and maybe this will make it better because he was like, I hated the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. He's like a huge fan of Indiana Jones, but he did not like the new one. So
Hmm.
maybe that means then this one will be more like the originals, which would be cool.
Well, and it is set in between Raiders and Last Crusade, which is cool as well. So set in
Oh,
between those two.
That's cool.
Which is cool, just a little tidbit for fans of, you know, the timeline and whatnot. Because a lot of people.
I
don't
hope
know-
that it has.
I was just gonna say, like, did you guys know? Like, a lot of people don't know this, that Temple of Doom is a prequel.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, like it's set
I don't
before.
know if I've
Raiders of
watched
the Lost
Temple
Ark.
of Doom.
Wait, what?
One where he rips out the guy's heart.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Temple of Doom came out after Raiders, but it's technically set before Raiders, which is
Weird.
weird.
It's
I didn't
weird.
know that.
But
Such
were
a
you gonna
weird
say
detail.
you hope short rounds in it, because that's what I hope.
That would be awesome.
If they
I
get
mean, I
short round in
imagine
this
he will
and
be.
they get freaking Kehui Kwan.
Oh, he
to
will.
fight-
I
if
bet
they
he'll do it because, like,
oh
he.
my
I
God.
feel like he's kind of one of those people that's happy to do anything early. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's just super into everything he does, which is awesome. I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other anticipated games?
Nope.
Sweet.
Nope.
I'm just gonna rapid fire some quick questions for you guys, real quick, before we wrap up the show. Just you can answer these real quick, but I wanted to ask a couple questions. This one's mostly for Hasten and Parker, but over under Apex Legends this year. How many legends are we getting?
Does reworks count?
Yeah. I mean, sure. But
How
like
many legends
Revenant
totaled
reworks,
this
like
year?
an actual Revenant reboot, not like something basic.
Sure.
Yeah, how many legends? You
I think we'll get a new legend and a revamp. So 2.
2 total. That's it for the whole year.
Yep.
The whole year?
Wow. So you're going under 3.
Nah. I'm
What
gonna
about you, Perry? Over under
say
3.
2 reworks and 3 new legends.
Whoa.
I feel like they might rework
5.
Lifeline too. I feel like they're gonna rework
What was
Lifeline
it?
and
Oh
introduce a
no,
new legend.
no. Let's do 2 more legends. Because let's see, a year. How long is a season?
Usually like
90
3-4
days.
months. Yeah.
So 3. Yeah, I'd give it 4. 4 total.
I'm gonna go
There's
right
no
in
way
between
there's
you
gonna be
guys.
4.
I'm gonna go with 3.
3 exactly.
I'm gonna say 2 new, 1 revamp. And if I had to guess the revamp, I think Lifeline's a pretty good bet.
Here's what I'll say. Actually, I'm gonna say 1
No,
new,
I don't know if that's changed.
1 revamp, and 1 new map. There's gonna be 3 seasons this year, and there's gonna be 3 total seasons.
Oh shoot, I
and
forgot
it's gonna
about
be
new
a
map.
new map. One of the seasons is gonna have a new map.
Might get one pretty soon. Because
Yeah.
our last one was Broken Moon.
Over a year
It's
ago.
been quite a while. Yeah.
It's almost been a year and a half. I'm gonna guess there's a new map as well. I think we get a new map by the end
For
of the
sure
year.
this
I think
year.
it'll probably be fall though. I think it's gonna be late. I don't think it's soon.
I think it'll be. Yeah. I think it could be a little earlier, but
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's earlier, but I'm gonna assume later. Next one for you guys, Taryn. This one includes you too. But will there be any new games in 2024 that are games as a service that actually catch on and stick? So a la like a
Pal World.
Fortnite or Rocket League or something like that.
Power World.
Do you think Pal World actually stays
No.
around though?
No, that thing's gonna be dead in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a survival game.
I kinda
Survival
feel the
games
same
don't
way.
usually stay.
Gosh, I don't know if there's gonna be any games of service because I feel like those kind of just come out of nowhere. They explode and then they just hang on forever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta
really,
get
what was
lucky.
the last?
and I feel
one?
like a
What
lot
was
of
the last
gamers
big one?
don't want more games as a service. There's so many games as a service games they can't keep up with it anyway. So
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, true.
The last big one?
Like, what's the last big one that actually?
I
Stuck
don't even
around?
know.
Last big
Like
games of
Apex?
service.
Like straight up? I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Literally, I
yeah, probably about there.
Yeah. Because there's like I know there's like little ones that come along, like the final.
Like Valorant, does that count though?
But when was Valorant? Valorant, it's been
no,
a while, right?
yeah.
Valorant
Valorant was
definitely
like
counts, but
2019.
Was that after Apex or before?
I think it was probably after.
I mean, like the finals could have been close. I think the finals was kind of close to taking over, but then it kind of fell off. So
Yeah, I played the finals
Valorant
and I
came
liked
out
it,
in
2019.
2020. So, yeah, the most recent.
probably that then. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think there'll be a new one this year that'll actually stick. I think there might be.
It's crazy.
A
It's
couple,
been
there'll be a
almost,
couple that explode,
4
and then
years
everyone
now.
thinks it's going to, and then it's not going to.
And then die. Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. What about you, Parker
Um,
and Tanner?
what's their names? Hello Games. Is that their name?
Oh yeah, the No Man's Sky people.
No Man's Sky. If that one comes out, it might catch on. I could see that catching
Light
on.
No Fire or whatever.
Yeah, just because it's like a open world medieval sim, I could see that blowing up.
I don't think it'll blow up to the same extent though. Like I think it would be like
No, I mean it's
classic
nothing.
kind
I
of
mean the next Fortnite, it's gonna be WoW. I don't see anything really toppling that.
Yeah, I mean,
level of-
not even toppling it. Like just anything that even competes. Like
I mean,
I don't know. I don't think so.
Riot Games, who makes Valorant, League of Legends, and all them, they're working on an MMO. I could see that probably being the next big thing. It doesn't even have a release date. It's probably not coming out for years.
Here's one for you, Tanner. What about Marathon?
Oh, it's not gonna. I think Marathon might fail.
Really?
Marathon is an extraction shooter. I don't know why the F they're making an extraction shooter. Extraction shooters are a extremely niche game type, and I've tried
There's
them.
so many.
They're not fun, at least in my experience. And I think most gamers agree, and that's
will
why
say
they're not
It's
popular.
Rainbow Six Siege an extraction shooter? Because I
don't
like
think
that
so.
one. I don't know if it is.
That's not an extraction. That's
like
yeah, you're just like
Safe House or something like. I
it's
don't
like
know.
Odd multiplayer, but
what's the word where you
Nielsen?
defuse,
Oh yeah, like a
search and destroy. It's
Search
like
and
search and destroy. You have like heroes and you can extraction shooters are like the ones where you're in a giant huge battle royale map.
kind of like a DMZ kind of thing.
But there's only 4 teams and you're just trying to get as much loot as possible and then extract.
Mm,
Which
yeah.
is
So
it's
that is
a
like
niche.
DMZ, right? That's what DMZ is.
Yeah, but DMZ tried to be that, but there's a reason why DMZ failed in the eyes of Activision and why they didn't continue doing it. Now they have MWZ, which is a zombies mode. You know?
Really?
I just think like such a niche type of game type. I think most gamers won't find it fun because there's no risk reward. It's like, oh, you get as much loot and then you extract with it. But then if you take that loot that you extracted with into the next match and you lose it, it's gone. Meaning if you extract with a really cool gun, you're like, yeah, you're just going to either keep it because you're too afraid to lose it, or you're going to take it into your next match and die and lose it. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem fun.
Yeah.
At least when I've played it, I haven't had fun with it. And so, look, apparently, now this is all just like rumors, because there was a bunch of Bungie stuff that got leaked. Apparently, they invited a bunch of Tarkov streamers to play Marathon, and when they asked the players who wanted to replay it, nobody raised their hand. So,
Yeah.
they want to play this? No.
No,
and so
this
look,
game sucks.
I don't know what they expected because they're going for a very niche. It's kind of like, I don't know. Battle Royale is a bad example because it's still kind of popular, but it's like a top-down strategy game, like Age of Empires. If it's like they announced a new one and they're like expecting it to be this huge game, it's probably
like
not going to
Xbox
be.
just did.
Yeah, it's like they're pretty.
that one they
niche.
did.
Which one did they do?
In the conference they had a top-down strategy.
Oh, really?
Tales of Arise, not Tales of Arise, like something.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't.
Yeah,
remember the name,
something
but
like
yeah.
that. It was something similar
Yeah.
to like AOE, but
Well, because it's like those are very niche type of games, you know.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be the next Fortnite.
So
They might be popular in that.
Me and Hasten are no's on it. What about Parker and Taryn? What do you guys think? Yes or no?
That was for what?
Will there be one that comes out in 2024 that sticks around?
I don't think so. If there hasn't been in 4 years already, I mean, I don't know if there will be.
What do you classify it as? Like something like Fortnite, like a big, huge.
Just something that actually sticks around. That is,
it's on like seasons that'll have like a season 15.
Yeah. Something that we'll be talking about 4 years from now.
No.
Doesn't have to be as big as Fortnite, but just actually stays around.
Oh.
Yeah, I almost kind of think that might be dead like, for a while. Like, something that actually comes along. I don't know.
I mean, unfortunately,
We're all
like
gonna
you
eat our
guys brought
words
up
in a few
earlier,
months.
nobody wants a new
Mario
live
live
service.
service game.
Yeah.
Like most
Nintendo.
gamers,
Nintendo
are
needs to
in
do
a-
it, bro.
that would be insane. A Mario live service game. They're like, oh, you can get a new cap color.
I mean, heck, if they did that with
And-
Mario Kart or something, that would be.
If they did that with
the
Mario, that would be
thing.
sick.
That would be
I'd
the
love
thing.
that.
I mean,
Yeah. That would be the one.
But Nintendo does not do live service. They do not. I don't think they ever will.
Yeah, I agree. Next one for you guys, real quick. Shout it out what you think, but who will have the bigger year? PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo? Who's gonna have the biggest year?
Nintendo.
If
'cause they're
Nintendo
launching
releases a new
console.
console,
Yeah, definitely Nintendo.
Nintendo, I think so too.
Although
they
Xbox,
don't,
I think Xbox
Xbox.
could have a lot
If not,
of
then
games
Xbox, yeah.
because of
hidden
Activision
With
and
Call
all
of
that.
Duties, yeah.
Well, and if everything from their developer showcase releases this year, that's quite a bit. Avowed, Indiana Jones, like those are two big.
I mean,
games.
unfortunately, like I've been a PlayStation hater for a long time, but they don't really. I don't feel like they have much in
No,
this year.
PlayStation is definitely going to have the worst year, I think, purely because they just don't have
Well, and they haven't
They've
even like
really
announced any new things for the next couple years.
Yeah. It
Like big
well,
PlayStation
no,
needs
they
a
got
showcase.
Wolverine next year.
Wolverine, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but that's it, right?
There's a lot of Insomniac stuff that we know about that will be coming
Oh,
out.
because the
Uh,
leak.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog game this year.
It'll come
Well,
out this year.
The new IP.
I don't know if it'll
It'll
come out
this year.
Be
We'll
announced.
see.
Sure.
I don't know. If they get something, that'd be huge. But as of right now, from what we know, it's going to be a pretty slow year for PlayStation, I think. But they
Yeah.
had a pretty good year last year with Spider-Man and whatnot, so maybe they can afford a year off.
And then the year before is Ragnarok, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
so they've had a good couple years. But yeah, so we're all in agreement on Nintendo there, and then probably Xbox second, if not. Will Summer Game Fest go all out this year? We already kind of talked about this, but what do you think? Yes or no?
No.
Next
I
year.
think there'll be an event, but I think maybe next year. Like I think this is its kind of start year.
It might try
I
to
feel
kick
the same
into
way.
gear a little bit this year. Like it'll try to do a little bit more than usual because of E3. But I don't think Jeff's had enough time to plan ever since the announcement of E3's death, which was literally like what, a month ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Agreed.
All in agreement there. I'm not going to do that one because this is the one we'd have to think about more. But what's game of the year 2024 as of right now? Call it out.
hey, do
What's
that
gonna
one
win?
though.
We'll go back to it.
Okay.
2024.
Game of the year
what's gonna be game of the
2024.
year? Take a guess. Just throw it out right now. I'm going to say Final
80s
Fantasy
too.
Rebirth.
Black Myth.
I didn't even know Hades 2 was coming out, but that'll win.
Yeah, 80s too. Well, it's
You
supposed to
said
come out this year.
Wukong
We'll
will
see.
win.
Oh, you know what I just thought about is Silk Song.
Yeah,
Hollow Knight.
if that comes out.
If that comes out.
And
that
what
might
got
have a
announced like
chance.
6 years ago.
Yeah, it's been forever. I think Final Fantasy. I'm gonna say Rebirth.
Oh, is it a new game or is it a remake?
It's the 7 part. It's the 7 remake part 2.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's getting
Final
like, a
Fantasy
lot of hype.
27.
Yeah, I think that takes it.
Game of the year?
I don't know. Final Fantasy doesn't
But
win game of the
Really?
We
year.
don't know about a lot of stuff. There could be.
Oh wait,
Who knows? You know.
Yeah, it's
Mario.
too early to
Hellblade.
say, but
Hellblade
Hellblade?
might win.
I don't
Hellblade
know.
has
That's
a
true.
chance. Or
I
I'm
don't-
saying, I think it's gonna be Black Myth Wukong, but I think Hellblade's probably up there.
If I had to say, I'd say Hades 2 because Hades 1 was so popular and didn't it win game of the year?
It was nominated,
one.
but it didn't win. But yeah,
Nominated.
Parker, you think which one?
I have no idea. One of
Golf
those
War.
ones is probably good. Yeah.
Parker's just like,
Go
I'm
for
ready
it.
to go to sleep.
4:04 a.m.
Yeah,
Tell me.
Call of Duty
All right,
Gulf
we're-
War is gonna win game of the
We're
year.
just-
Well,
Can
the
you
problem is
imagine?
That
there's
would be
just
the
not
biggest
really
shocker
any
of
to
all
say.
He's not even nominated, and Jeff Keighley's like, Call of Duty Gulf War.
All right, well, we're gonna speed run these next few. Give me one big Fortnite collab of 2024.
Well, here's what I'll say. and you
Last
can
of
cut this
Us.
out. You can cut this up
Whoa.
too, and we can also make it into shorts. And
We
stuff
will.
Like that, so.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think this episode will be split in two. This will
Yeah,
have an
so we-
anticipated
3
and
hours?
a predictions, yeah.
We talked too
Fortnite
much.
collab of 2024
Yeah,
prediction.
what do you think?
Um,
You only get
Last of
one.
Us.
Just pick one.
You can't take that. It was mine. I said it first.
Yeah, Hasten said it first. It's true.
wait, did you say that?
Yeah, I yelled
Dang
it loudly.
Um, I'm
gonna
gonna say Goat Simulator in Fortnite. No, I'm just kidding.
that actually probably will
Uh,
happen.
That legit. That's
I'm
already
gonna
happened,
say-
actually. That's literally already happened, right? The goat skin.
It is.
Is it?
Goat Simulator
It literally
is in
is.
Fortnite.
Is it
The
really?
Goat
It
Simulator
is.
skin is from
Of course
there.
it is. I'm gonna say this is a little boring, but I'm gonna say there's gonna be a Clone Wars.
I was gonna say
crossover
Star
Hmm.
Wars.
in-
Yeah, there could be
on May
I can
Star
see
Wars.
that.
It's gonna be Captain Rex is gonna get a skin and Mace Windu.
I don't know if they'll do
Cool.
Captain.
That'd be
Captain.
awesome.
I think he's a little too much niche. Like a
I
too
think people
support.
like him enough. I think he has
Oh.
like such a big
Django.
following.
We're gonna see
compared to like
Django.
some other big characters in the series, like General Grievous, Count Dooku.
I think General Grievous is probably too like with the four arms.
They could
I think
make
it
him
might
work.
make it.
It would just
hard
make
to
his
No,
work
arms
they're
against.
gonna make it work.
Yeah,
So it's
I
gonna
think
be
that-
General Grievous
sure,
and
they could
Django.
definitely-
They're
if they
both.
did Django, that would be my number one skin.
Django is a shoe-in at this point because they already did
No.
Boba. They're literally gonna take.
No.
Oh yeah, they'll do Django.
Yeah.
I don't think Django's
They'll do
popular
Django.
enough. People don't like Django as much as Boba.
I can
and
guarantee you
Mandalorian.
that eventually most big Star Wars characters will be in Fortnite. Eventually. Like, any big Star Wars characters you could think of will be in Fortnite.
I think so too.
Steve isn't gonna be in Fortnite.
That's your
Or
prediction. Steve?
Minecraft.
That's actually
Steve
not a
from
bad prediction
Stranger
because the
Things.
Minecraft movie is supposed to come out. I think it's early next year.
Jason
but
Momoa and Jack Black.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like a Jack Black Steve in Fortnite.
That'd be awesome.
That would.
I can't think of any. Hellblade.
Hellblade in Fortnite.
Hey, you never know. They've done every character
Yeah, I
possible.
mean, no, legit. That probably will. Senua, is that her name? Right? She'll be in it.
Oh,
Did you
is
see
Avatar?
that they're adding? Yeah, they already
Avatar,
announced
yeah.
Avatar though. It's already
Yeah.
They already confirmed.
Is
it.
Ghostbusters in Fortnite?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say something else,
Everything's
and
already
it
in
probably
there.
is. What was I gonna
Yeah.
say? Fuck. Oh, did you see that they're adding Lego Jack Skellington?
Yeah. I was just telling you.
Oh, seriously?
Looks awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Shout out Shredder leaks last night, by the way, and he looks.
Oh, it's so
freaking amazing.
cool.
Crap. Will VR get a killer app in 2024, or is VR dead?
Okay.
VR 's
So this,
definitely
I think this is a pivotal year for VR/AR because of Apple Vision Pro.
I
Right?
agree. Actually.
I think right. Apple Vision Pro isn't going to be for consumers. It's $3,500. It's not for us, right? It is for developers to begin using Apple products. And I've said this before. I think when Apple hops into a tech space,
it pressures everyone else.
It pressures everyone, and these tech companies have to push the boundaries. Like I've watched some Marquez Brownlee videos, and he was like,
Mock-ass
the
Brownlee.
eye tracking and hand tracking on the Apple Vision Pro is unlike anything he's ever seen before.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be an important year for VR AR in the sense of I don't think there's going to be a killer app, but I think a lot's going to happen with developers.
It's the beginning
through
of
Apple
something.
Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
mean, I
guys
think
see
we called it years ago where we were talking about as soon as Apple gets into it, it's gonna change
Gonna
because
start.
they're always the ones that do that. They did it with the Apple Watch. Apple Watch came out, and then smartwatches.
Well, you think
Who
about it
else?
like I know I sound like an Apple fanboy, and I kind of am. But like you think about it, and like the AirPods, right? AirPods started like the Bluetooth
Yeah, the
AirPods,
small
where
earbud.
everything started to be
Yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
right? Apple got rid of the headphone jack. Everyone just followed. Like I could keep going.
wireless
you know, but
charging.
wireless charging. Everything just keeps following
iCloud.
it, and it's like.
Yep.
Well, and they become so synonymous too, where like everyone calls like wireless earbuds AirPods, even if they're not AirPods. You know?
Yeah, even
It's
if they're
kind of
not.
like,
Yeah.
do you have?
Well,
an
and
iPhone?
even the phone
if they're just talking
market
about a
has
cell phone.
become dominated by iPhone, where you're looked down upon for not having an iPhone. You know what I mean? Like genuinely
Yes,
though.
I know what you
As
mean.
much as it sucks, it's like if you don't have an iPhone, some people are like, "What?"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Crazy.
So you guys both think that VR is gonna have a kind of
Renaissance.
comeback this
Sorry.
year?
I don't think VR is
I
going to
could
have
see
a
that.
renaissance.
VR/AR.
VR/AR. Those are important to be combined because the only reason I would ever buy another Meta Quest is because of the stuff for AR that I've seen it do.
Well, yeah.
Being able to computer, or sorry, not the computer, the piano, and you have the Quest on, right? And it's
You
literally
can see
telling
the
you which keys
keys.
to press.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
stuff like that is crazy. Like you could be vacuuming and it has your floor mapped out and
Has a
you're
score.
vacuuming exactly where you're missed.
Well, and I think
You
the
know,
reason
Or
you
it
had
has
to
a score, it's like you
distinguish
vacuum,
AR,
so then it's like 500 points.
Yeah.
Make a
or it's
game
like when
out
you're
of
driving
it.
a Tesla, and every time you hit a kid, it's like 500. Crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
pause.
Oh my
screen.
gosh.
Pause.
Anyways,
Nah, he doesn't have to cut that out. That's
Like,
not
reset.
bad.
You're like, oh, frick.
But then I
That
drive
was
my
fine.
car with a car bomb in it, and then in the headquarters.
It's like the open season scene.
Yeah.
VR will be
Yeah. The reason
important
I
this year,
think
and I freaking hate that Apple did the $3,500 because of course they had to do that because they're like it's not ready yet. Like we don't want consumers to buy this.
yeah, please
So
don't.
we're gonna make it so expensive, and now there's more memes. It's like Apple's freaking charging so much.
I mean,
you
look,
know.
they will. This was like the beginning. It's just a tester. They will come out with more like these ones, I think, eventually.
That's what they're working towards is glasses.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and look,
glasses for everyone.
You had
Or
to distinguish
contacts or
AR
whatever.
VR because they don't even classify the Apple Glass as AR.
VR.
No,
I think
AR because it's shield, like it's not see through. They've always said it's like, oh, VR AR, like you were saying, where they can't say it's just AR because it's literally not. Like it's not see through.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it does project the outside world, but I kind of agree where VR is kind of in a weird place where I don't know what else they can really do with it. I do think it'll get better and better, like tracking and nausea and stuff, but I think it'll be a while before VR gets so big because the main problem with VR right now is your field of view, right? Most VR headsets cut off, and so you can still see the outside. And then bigger headsets that have bigger field of views are heavy, and so they weigh you down. It's hard to have that balance, right? And I don't know if they will reach that for a while. But AR is at the precipice of just blowing up. Like Hasten's saying, where if you have glasses on with AR, the possibilities are limitless.
There's so many professional ways that an AR headset could be used.
Mechanics,
even if it's in
surgeons,
even to retail, right? Like you could be pushing a box and it'll literally just you stare down the aisle and it'll tell you where to put the item.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It shows
Stuff
like
that.
the code. Well, like think about it. You're like, or even you're sitting there and a customer comes up and asks you, "Where's this item?" And as they're telling you, the voice.
And you're just wearing
recognition
this giant headset,
shows
this
you
giant AR headset,
the lines, the
yeah,
arrows,
it's right there.
or
Yeah.
it shows tags as you look at an item. Instead of having to grab it and turn it around to see nutrition facts, it will pop it up if it shows that your eyes are tracking to that box. It shows. Be crazy, bro.
There's a lot of stuff that could come, and it's a long ways away, I think, but it's.
Is there going to be
start.
X-ray vision?
Yes.
I was actually going to say that you guys are saying kind of more positive on it. I'm actually kind of the opposite, where I think VR is kind of at right now. I'm not saying long term, but I'm saying right now.
I agree with VR.
I think it's
Agree
kind of
with
in
VR.
the water. I think VR is at its kind of its lowest point over the last few years. Like PSVR 2 apparently has sold abysmally. I was reading something the other day, and I don't know how accurate it is, so I don't want to be spreading fake news or whatever. But like apparently there was like stuff about MetaQuest like losing tons of money. Did you guys hear about this? Where
Facebook.
Yeah, they've been losing
Meta.
money forever.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
like MetaQuest 3
struggling.
apparently too is like been horrible for them. Like MetaQuest 3 has not sold.
I mean,
at
to be
all
fair, I don't
in
know what they
comparison
expected to
MetaQuest 2.
happen. They launch a new Quest, which is barely more powerful than the other one. Has the AR possibilities, but nothing to go with the AR. No new games that come with it besides Asgard's Fury, which apparently got great reviews, but no like name-catching game. There wasn't like Beat Saber 2 or killer app. Like they needed something that kids would be like, I want this so I can play Beat Saber 2.
Yeah,
kids aren't like, I want to play Asgard's Wrath.
The reason they're losing money though is development, right? Like they're not losing money based off of sales, like the headset sales. They're losing the money because they're doing so much research and development because it's a new tech.
Right,
like,
right.
Yeah, it's
so like
like,
the numbers do look bad, right?
Produce.
But they aren't actually doing as bad as it seems because it's
I
like
think
they had to pay for all this, but
well,
now
it's one
they're
of those things where it is.
Well,
like
I think that's why Facebook has been struggling is because they haven't gotten that return on their investment because they've invested so much into research and development and they haven't got that return yet because the quests are selling at a pretty good rate, but it's not enough.
Well, Quest 2
they were expecting it to be like the hit thing that everyone was gonna get, and because that's what they were hoping it would be, and so that's why they continue to dive deeper into. They want to make it the best it can be, and
well, the problem is and obviously long term it's gonna be different. But as we were talking about, like the Apple VR is just completely unaffordable for consumers. They don't want it for consumers right now. But it's like, so the only consumer friendly VR headset right now is the Quest, and it's the Quest 2 specifically. That's the only one that's like budget enough that people can just hop in, get it. And the problem is it's like the Quest 2, especially in a couple years, is going to be completely like dated,
underpowered,
and it's going to be like, I don't know. I don't see the cost of VR anytime soon coming down to an affordable rate and still being amazing. It's like it's either you're gonna have to spend an arm and a leg to get a really good VR, or you're gonna have to get a budget VR like Quest 2, and there's never gonna be a good in between, at least not for a while. So I just don't.
Well,
see
and that's
VR
why I
really catching on
agree.
for at least
I agree on
years.
VR. Totally. I think VR is in a really weird space right now. But AR is the one that I think is
AR is the
at
future.
that precipice of about to explode.
I
think
so.
it's
AR would be awesome, yeah.
it's kind of like in that realm of AI and stuff where there's all this stuff that's about to just be the next generation. Because it's like once we have augmented reality in our daily life, it's like VR, virtual reality,
It's gonna be
will
so
always
awesome.
be something. Like virtual reality will always be something that's optional, right? Because reality is always reality. So if there's augmentation within your reality, seeing something in your reality is always going to be better than a virtual one, right? Fake reality. I think that's why AR is just better. Like, think about it. Nowadays with like filters and stuff, they're so good that you can almost not tell. You know what I mean? But AR is just getting better and better and better. And now we just need good glasses. Next step.
All right. Next one for you guys real quick here. Will we get a PS5 or Xbox Series X 2.0, like a refresh, the Pro models this year? Or is that still a ways away?
I don't think we'll get a PS5 this year because they just did the Slim version of the PS5.
Slim already came out.
I do think we'll get a Series X 2.0 though, specifically with a disc drive separate.
Yeah, that's a big thing right now for sure. I can see that happening.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Xbox is weird though because they have the S and X already.
I don't know how long has it been.
Yeah, that's true.
I could
How long
maybe
has it
see
been
them doing
already?
a more powerful S.
Maybe they'll just wait for the new one for the Series.
I don't.
Here's why, right? I can
so.
see them doing a more powerful S because the S is affordable and cheap, and so I can see them like kind of updating it. But the X is kind of like at the peak of its power, better than the PlayStation and stuff like that. It's almost on a level of a PC in a way where it's like, yeah, they could do a minor upgrade, but it's gonna have to be expensive, and I think they realize that because the Series X is still 500, brand new at least, and without a deal. And it's like if they did an upgrade, it'd have to be at least $50 more likely 100. So we're looking at a $600 console, which people aren't gonna. I think they're looking at the market for it, where they already have a higher end one and they already have a lower end one. I can see them doing like an S plus, where it's like a more powerful S. It's almost an X, without the disc drive. I personally think
maybe a digital X. That's just
a digital X might happen. That's what I was gonna say. I think Microsoft's gonna lean even further into the no disc drive. If I'm honest, I think the next generation of consoles, both of them, will not have a disc drive at launch.
I think they will, but not on the console. I think it'll be a peripheral. It'll be like you can buy a disc drive separate.
Oh, that's true. I can see that.
I don't think we're at the point where they're just going to completely get rid of disc drives altogether. Because I think there's enough discs out there.
I mean, as long as backwards compatibility exists, they have to have some sort of disc drive.
But it'll be like a separate purchase. It'll be like for $50 extra, you can buy this disc drive or something and attach it to your console. But I actually think we get both. I think we get a PS5 and Xbox Series X refresh this year, like Pro models. And I'm not saying like anything too crazy, but I could see a PS5 that is the slimmer model alongside it being slightly more powerful, just like a guaranteed 60 FPS or whatever on every game or something. I don't know. But and then Series X, I kind of see the same thing. Just a smaller model, especially because they haven't done any sort of Series X Slim yet. And the Series X is huge, obviously. And I don't know if they can get it too
probably
much
because the Series X
smaller.
Slim is the S. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess technically, but it's underpowered compared to the Series X.
Sure.
I just mean like a Series X that's as powerful as the Series X but smaller. I don't know if they can really do that at this point, just because they're essentially small PCs. Like a Series X is literally set up like a PC even, to where I don't know if they can get much smaller at this point, but I think they could probably do something to make it a little less bulky, and then maybe some sort of like Pro features. Even if it's just expanding the storage to 2 terabytes, having an extra USB drive or something. Just like little quality of life features like that. I think we get both. I think it happens. But final question, and then we'll wrap up. We'll call it an episode. But do you guys have any games that you think that will be announced in 2024 that we have not heard of? What are you hoping for? Even if it's just a hope, like what's your biggest prediction that gets announced in 2024 that we do not know of yet?
Borderlands 4.
Last of Us
I
3.
already know about Fallout 3, but
Last of Us 3? I mean, that would be my hope for sure. I don't think we're getting it.
Last of Us
I'm not
4.
gonna predict that. Last of Us 4. I'm going to say mine. I think a new Super Mario 3D game. I think that's going to happen this year.
New Super Mario
Right.
3D?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
like Super Mario Odyssey.
Just
2,
a
you know what I
3D
mean?
Mario game.
Like a
3D
new
Mario.
3D
Okay. Yeah.
type game, yeah.
DLC for Tears of the Kingdom.
Ooh, yes,
Awesome.
please.
Hope.
Yes,
That
please.
they told
Yes, please.
It needs to be searching for the guy that plays the concertina. Is that what it's
No
called?
spoilers.
Rivali.
That's Breath of the Wild, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Rivali. I'm talking about Cass.
Cass. Search for Cass.
Mm-hmm. Parker, you got any?
Last of Us 3.
Oh, Last of Us 3.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we get that one too. I
Crime
doubt it,
4.
but- What for?
Crime 4.
Oh, Prime 4, yeah. Well, we know about that though, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but
That'd
still.
be amazing. Well, anything else anyone else wanted to add, or should we call it an episode?
we're good.
Oh, good. Sweet. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Feel free to check out our YouTube and subscribe and all of our social feeds and whatnot. And thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys later.